Central angle. I can find the measure of the central angle of the sector. So let's get what the central angle is. It's the measure of the angle in the sector. So yesterday we talked about a sector is a piece of the pie. So how much is that angle? Well, in this case, it's 45 degrees. So we're going to use our video from yesterday and take a look. These were all the answers you had, and we're going to use that idea to find the central angle here. So what I want to know today is how much is this angle right here? Well, we use the information, we can use what we want, and we set up a proportion. We know an entire circle is 360 degrees. So that's on one side, and we want to find that angle. So that's going to be our x. Now we take any piece of we want. We know this is 1/3, so let's take the area, and let's start with that one. Let's take 26.17 since that's the piece. And let's do that all over the entire area as 78.5. So remember how to do this again. You take these two and you multiply. So you cross, multiply, and then you divide by 78.5. And you end up with 120 degrees. Remember, it goes from here to here. How much did 360 go up by? Well, it went down, to 78.5, and 120 went down the same proportionally to 26.7. If you look at this, this is 1/3. This is 1/3. So let's look at using the circumference ones. Again, we can set up the same proportion. We're going to want to find the central angle over 360 because that's what a whole circle is. Remember, arc length is our circumference, so we're going to use that today. The whole circumference was 31.4, and we had 10.47, or 1/3 of it. Again, we cross, multiply those two together, divide by 31.4, and again, I get 120 degrees. So right now, I want you to stop the video and see if you can find the central angle. In this case, it would be this entire angle from here to here using example number 2. Come back when you're done. All right, so let's take a look. We have the proportion. We're trying to find the angle, so that's over 360 degrees. If we use the area idea, I have 84.78 was the whole area of that angle over 113.04. So again, I take 84.78 times by 360 divided by 113.04, and I end up with 270 degrees. I could have used the idea of the circumference and used again x over 360 equals, the part of it was 28.26, the whole is 37.68, cross, divide, and I get again 270 degrees. So we can use that idea of proportions now. If I'm giving you the central angle, can you find the area? So the first thing you must do is find the area of the entire circle, because we're not sure if this is a half or a fourth or an eighth. Like yesterday, it cut up pretty easily. This one won't. So let's find the area first. So we're going to take 4 squared times your 3.14. So 16 times 3.14 gives me 50.24. Now let's set up the proportion. So we know the 45 degrees over the 360. We know the area is 50.24. So go ahead, take a moment, hit pause, and solve that. All right, so you come back, and this time you're going to cross these two and divide it by 360, and you end up with 6.28. Now remember again, we're looking for the area here, so it's centimeters squared. Go ahead and try the same thing. This time we want the arc length, so we're looking for the distance here. Again, that is part of the circumference. So stop the video, first find the circumference, and then set up your proportion. So stop the video and try that now. All right, so let's take a look. Circumference is pi times diameter, so 3.14 times, well, 16, and 16 would be 32. When I do that, I get 100.48, so I need to use that in my proportion. So I have 75 degrees over the 360. I know the circumference of the whole thing is 100.48. So I cross them, multiply these two, divide by this one, and I get 20.93. It is repeating, but we're just going to round. And this time, since it's just the circumference, we just use meters, not squared. Go ahead and begin your assignment.